Hi guys, this is Sajak from Revlin.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to downgrade your OnePlus phone from OxygenOS 14 to OxygenOS 13. That is from Android 14 to Android 13. As of now, we'll be using the Oppo Flash tool to get this job done. I've already made a video via the Fastboot ROM, the official downgrade package, and the MSM tool. A video and a guide is already there. As of now, I'll be focusing on the Oppo Flash tool to get this job done. So as of you could see, my OnePlus 11 phone is currently on the latest Android 14 build, and I will now do a downgrade to Android 13. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone. The guide will wipe off all the data. So take a backup and then let's get started using the Oppo Flash tool. For the OnePlus 12R, the steps are somewhat different. That I will discuss at the end of the video. There is just a slight variation from the original steps. I will show you at the end of the video as well. So please make sure to watch the entire video, especially if you own a OnePlus 12R phone. So with that said, take a backup of all the data on your phone and then let's get started. First and foremost, you will have to disable the driver's signature enforcement. This is because Windows might not allow you to install the EDL drivers on your PC if you don't turn off the driver signature enforcement. So for that, you just have to open the PowerShell or the CMD window and copy paste the single line of command, and this will turn off the driver signature verification, and you could then easily install the drivers. Or you may also take a longer approach and boot your PC to the recovery environment, then choose troubleshoot advanced option, startup settings, and press the 7 or the F7 key. This will also get the job done. Once you have disabled the driver signature enforcement, you will now have to install the Qualcomm USB drivers or the EDL drivers. They are also known as Qualcomm HS USB QD Loader 9008 drivers. So go to my guide and install the drivers. These drivers, they are also in two packages, the automatic and the manual. Is highly recommended that you go with the automatic approach. So download the 64-bit driver file, launch the exe file, and then choose the WWAN DHCP in the first screen. Click on next, again next, then click on install, and the drivers will then be installed onto your PC. Once that is done, let's now proceed ahead with the next step. So now you will have to get hold of the Oppo Flash tool, the cracked version and the original version. You will have to get hold of both this tool. So let me show you. The first one is the crack version and this is the Oppo crack version. And then if I go back, and this is the Flash tool, there are around 3 to 4 variants of the tool. As of now, we'll be using the version 5.5.5. Keep this point in mind, it's extremely important. We'll be using the version 5.5.5, and the crack tool is used to simply launch the proxy file in the backend. This is the crack tool. We will also use this exe file as well, this batch file. So as of now, make sure you have both the crack version as well as the Flash tool as well. So once you have got both the packages, you will now have to download the EDL firmware for your phone. This will be in an OFP package. So make sure to download the same firmware which correspond to your region. In my case, I'm using an Indian variant and I have a OnePlus 11. So I will be using the CPH 2447. This is for my region. Once you have got the firmware for your phone and region, it will be in a zip format. So extract it, and upon extraction, you will get the following files as you could see over here. So this is our EDL firmware. Once you have got that, you will now have to install MITM proxy and Proxyfire, and from here things begin to go interesting. So first off, get hold of this software package, and it is renamed as software and drivers. Let me show you. So download the software and driver package from here and extract them onto your PC. Upon extraction, you will get the following files. This is the software and driver folder. You will get the following 3 files. So first and foremost, let's install the Proxyfire onto our PC. So launch the Proxyfire setup exe file. Click on yes in the prompt that appears, and after that click on next. Accept the terms and condition. Again click on next. Choose a location. Click on next. Next. If you want to make a shortcut on the desktop, check mark it or leave it unchecked. Then click on next. Finally hit the install button, and it's now installed. Please make sure to uncheck launch Proxyfire. It's extremely important. Uncheck launch Proxyfire and minimize this window. Once that is done, let's now install the MITM proxy as well. So launch the exe file, click on yes, then again click on next, choose a location, click install. It will now be installed onto your PC. Again, make sure to uncheck launch MITM proxy and minimize the window. So you will have to uncheck both the launch Proxyfire as well as launch MITM proxy. Make sure to uncheck both of these and then minimize the setup screen. Once that is done, you will now have to install the Qualcomm driver package as well. So simply go to this folder and launch the install.bat file. You will get quite a few prompts on your PC. Just click on yes. After each prompt, click on yes, and the drivers are now installed. So hit the enter key, and with this we install the drivers as well. And now you have to add the proxy server and the rules. So first and foremost, you have to launch the Proxyfire. So go to the start menu and search for Proxyfire, then open it, then click on continue evaluation. Then if it will ask for an update, click on no. Once we have launched the Proxyfire, you have to go to profiles, then go to proxy server, click on add. Under the address, type in 127.0.0.1, which is the local host. Under port, type in 8080. Under protocol, select HTTPS and then click on OK. Then click on yes, again click on OK, then click on OK, and with this we have added the server port. So once that is done, again go to profile, but this time go to proxification rules and then change the default to direct, and from here click on add. Now under the name, let's name it the Flash tool, and since we are using the version 5.5.5, let's rename it to Flash tool 555. After that, click on browse under application, and now go to the folder where you have extracted the Flash tool and go inside the Flash tool version 5.5.5 and select the download tool.exe file. Click on open, then go to the action, and from here select proxy HTTPS 127.0.0.1. Once you have made the selection, click on OK, and with this we have added. Again click on OK, then you may minimize the Proxyfire window. And now what you have to do, since we are done with this, now go to the Oppo EDL crack version. This is the crack folder. From here launch the Oppo EDL crack batch file, and it will automatically launch the MITM proxy window in the backend. As you could see, it's now loading at the port 8080. Once that is done, you will now launch the Oppo Flash tool. So go inside the Flash tool folder and launch the same Flash tool which you have added in the proxification rule. In our case it's 5.5.5, so launch it. Go there and now open it via the download tool.exe file. It will take a few seconds to launch. So now you may type in, first off choose the region as India, that should work, or you may also choose EU, European, that will also work. In my case it's India. Under account and password you may type in anything you want. For the sake of reference, I am typing in Droidwin. Under verification code also you may type in anything you want. So again I am typing in Droidwin and click on sign in, and as you could see we are now inside the tool. So now go to software package, then click on import. Now select the package, the EDL package which we have downloaded, or OFP firmware. Click on select folder, click on confirm, and then you may click on the cancel button, and with this we have got the entire ROM folder. So click on flash, and it will now verify the package integrity, and this process will take up to around a couple of minutes. So let's just wait for that to happen. As of now, please make sure that your phone should not be connected to your PC. Instead, simply turn off your phone for now. So long press the power key and let's power off your phone, but do not connect your phone to the PC via USB cable. Simply connect one end of the USB cable to your PC, but leave the other end blank for now. As you could see, it's currently not connected. Now what you have to do is click on stop flashing, then enable default NV. Now click on start flash, and now you will have to press and hold the volume up and volume down keys, and while holding both the keys, connect your phone to the PC via USB cable. As soon as you do so, you should get a 3% mark. So let me show you that as well. And as soon as you see the 3% mark, you may let go of the keys and the flashing will now start. So let's just wait for a few more seconds. At the 3%, it might get stuck for a few more seconds. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about. As you could see, it's now increasing and it will take around 6 to 8 minutes for the flashing to complete. Just make sure that initially your phone should not be connected to Wi-Fi. As soon as you load the package and the verification is complete, hit the stop flashing button, then enable default NV, then click on start flashing. After that, power off your phone and then press and hold the volume up and volume down keys. While holding both the keys, connect your phone to the PC via USB cable, and then as soon as you see the 3% mark, the flashing will start and then you may let go of the keys. So let's just wait for the flashing to complete. So guys, the flashing is now complete, and do keep in mind that the first boot up will take up some time. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about. From the subsequent time, that will not be the case. As you could see, it's a boot animation and I am still getting the orange state warning because the bootloader is still unlocked. As opposed to MSM tool, the Oppo flash tool will not unlock the bootloader, or rather relock the bootloader. The bootloader will remain unlocked with Oppo flash tool, and we are now inside the OS. So this was for flashing all the other firmwares. If we now talk about the OnePlus 12R, so in that case you will have to use a different Firehose DDR.elf file. So what you have to do is carry out the steps exactly same till step 7, and step 7, when you click on the flash button, you then get the verification integrity of the package. As soon as that happens, after that you will have to then download this file and place it inside the OFP firmware package. You will get a prompt to replace. Click on OK. The file will be replaced. Once you have replaced the file, again then click on stop flashing, then enable default NV, then start flashing, and then the flashing will start as usual. Make sure to boot your phone to EDL mode as before. So the only difference in OnePlus 12R is once you have loaded the firmware and click on flash, you will get the verification. Once the verification is complete, wait for a few minutes and then you will have to load this file instead of the file which will already be there in the OSP firmware. You will have to replace this file with that file. So copy this file from here and then place the file inside the firmware. You will get a prompt to replace it. Click on yes or OK and the file will be replaced. Once that is done, you must then click on stop flashing, then enable default NV, boot your phone to the EDL mode and start the flashing as shown in the video. So guys, on that note, I round up this video. Just let me boot my phone to the OS, which will take a few more seconds, and show you that I am indeed inside the OxygenOS 13 based on Android 13. So why exactly should you use this method as opposed to the other methods available? Because, well, first off, if your phone is currently in a soft brick or a boot loop state, then you might not have a fast boot ROM for many OnePlus phone. So in that case, you will have to take the help of the Oppo flash tool to get the job done. Moreover, beginning with OnePlus 11, we don't even have the MSM tool, so we will have to use this tool only. So in case you own a OnePlus 11 or higher phone, or a phone is currently in a soft brick, hard brick or a boot loop state, or if you simply want to do a downgrade via this tool, then in all these approaches, this will be your go-to choice. And as you could see, we are now on Android 13. The downgrade is now done successfully. And if you want to update for some reason to the latest build at near future, then you may download the ROM from any third-party trusted site or the Oxygen Updater app as well. So let me show you that it's a third-party app from where you could install the latest update as well on your phone. If for some reason you want to do that, then you may do so from here as well. Anyways guys, on that note, I round up this video. If you have any queries with regard to any of the steps, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.